pier fishing. That's what's up. Let's go catch a bunch. What is up, river lifers? I'm back from another adventure vacation, this time down to North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, immediately on the heels of the storm of a lifetime, Hurricane Florence, which smashed North Myrtle Beach. Thankfully, North Myrtle Beach was back on its feet. Caught some great fish on those piers. If you like content like that, be sure and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell right beside it so you get all this cool content. I've got several videos coming up, including this one, which is a catch, clean, and cook video of a Spanish mackerel. That was my target species. Kind of tricky getting there. I got some good tips. I got some input from a professional. Got some good support from the people on the pier, from Riverwife. Got some great support from Riverwife, who learned how to fish this trip. Riverwife learned how to pier fish on this trip, caught her first fish ever, and then she kept catching fish. I'll put some photographs in another video if you'll follow along. We'll see what all Riverwife caught. But let's get to that catch, clean, and cook. I knew how to clean them. I've cleaned hundreds of these things before. I knew how to cook them. Riverwife helped me along there, and the only part I wasn't real sure about is if the catch was going to go the way I had anticipated. There's a few curves, there's a few curveballs in this fishing trip that I didn't know how to plan for, mostly because of that big storm, Hurricane Florence, messing everything up, stirring the water up and flooding rivers. So we overcame the obstacles. We stayed the course after our goal. We achieved our goal. I've got the content to put this video together. I hope you enjoy it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. This is a great video with some really good tips. I hope you enjoy it. The first thing you have to do is get yourself to a fishing pier. Now, I've chosen the Cherry Grove, North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina fishing pier. In preparation for this trip, I bought some new gear, including this sweet 15-foot surf rod for jigging. Jigging a series of gold hooks with different colored straws attached on their shanks. It's a good technique for Spanish mackerel and bluefish. These are called straw rigs, where gold hooks are tied in series on a line, and they have different colors of straws on their shank. I chose red and white, kind of a standby. Jigging these up and down through the water column is about all there is to this, and the rest is up to the fish. But I wasn't seeing any action, and I wondered if it was because the water was a brown color, a tea-stained, brackish water appearance, and it was because of the rains from Hurricane bringing all the river water back out into the ocean from floods that happened all over North Myrtle Beach just 1 week ago. Well, anyway, I had learned how to tie this rig from a YouTube video by a guy named Captain Frank Cook of FEC TV. That's Foxtrot Echo Charlie Tango Victor. That stands for Fish Every Cast Television. Well, it's not quite every cast, but this guy's better than most. He operates mainly at Apache Pier, which is part of the Apache family campground. Captain Frank's tutorial video on how to tie a straw rig was all I needed, and after he inspected my equipment, he gave the effort several compliments, which I appreciated, and then went on to show me how to get best results and sharing some tips and secrets and best practices, and that's just what I needed to get me going. I'll put a link in the description so you can go learn how to tie these straw rigs from one of the best, Captain Frank Cook.
Everything looks good. There you go. Get a little swing going on here. Drop it down and let it go. We don't know what's going to happen here yet.
About to come through a school of Spanish mackerel right there.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's talking positive. Think positive. See it happen. See the fish bite the hook.
Be the fish.
Well, this outfit, Smith, it feels so smooth.
I wanted to catch fish on straws.
See into my rod. You go down slow. You snap it up about that high. You go down slow. You snap it up a little bit. Oh, there he is. Dog! He hit it. I just missed him. I missed him.
You know, it was strangely encouraging to realize that even the best fishermen miss them sometimes. I knew I had some practice to do, so I just went to working that jig away, up and down, hopeful, is this going to be the jig that I catch my Spanish mackerel? I hope so, because if I don't catch one, we're not going to have much of a clean and cook part of this catch, clean, and cook video. Well, guess it wouldn't make for much of a catching part either. Oh well, wish me luck. About that time, I looked in the water and I saw a huge shark swim by the pier. That thing had some shoulders on it. It was at least 2 feet wide. And probably that shrimping boat in the background wasn't doing me any favors, attracting all the fish away from my jig. At this point, about any excuse would do. It was time for River Wife and I to pack up and clear out of the Apache Pier and head back to the next northern pier, which was our home base, Cherry Grove Pier. We had confirmed that we have the right equipment, we have well-tied jigs, and the technique has been checked off by a local expert. Now I think it's just about putting enough time in on the pier to attract the attention of some fish. I kept reminding myself that the fish weren't going to put themselves on the pier, and I was on vacation. I didn't have anything better to do. And then out of nowhere, man, a thundering herd of Spanish mackerel came through by the end of the pier where I was jigging, and 2 of them jumped on my rig at the same time. I thought I had locked up with the locomotive. The battle was on, the drag was screeching, people were coming over saying, Spanish, Spanish. We got them up on the deck and gave each other a high five. I kept one Spanish mackerel and threw the other back and got the jigs back in the water as quickly as possible. And boom, before you know it, I had 2 bluefish on at the same time. Ever wonder why they call them snappers? These guys all went back in the water. I noticed down the pier some guy caught this prehistoric looking thing, a ribbon fish with a sweet chrome paint job and a nice set of choppers. So I got my beautiful Spanish mackerel. The catch portion was complete. Now it was time to clean this beautiful fish. Here's my trusty fillet knife with a sharp edge and a flexible blade. My first cut is directly behind the pectoral fin. I go all the way until I feel the backbone, turn the knife quickly, and then make a short sawing stroke the complete length of the fish until the meat separates from the carcass. And here you can see it's just a thick, delicious piece of fresh fish. Turn the fish over and repeat. Cut behind the pectoral fin all the way to the backbone, and then a short sawing motion through the flesh all the way through the end of the tail. Now with a sharp knife, this is no problem. You get 2 large fillets, and now you're ready to skin them. This takes a little more finesse. Notice my index finger is on top of the blade, applying pressure so that it bends slightly. And what that does is cause the skin to come off in a very paper-thin layer with no meat. Lots of people leave the skin on these Spanish mackerel because the skin is thin, and it's difficult to do this without experience. So either way is fine. I chose to take the skin off. And now I'm just cutting right along this strip of dark meat, and I'm going to cut on either side and just remove that strip of meat. It's got a little stronger flavor. There are some bones in it. I don't think it adds to my fish eating experience, so I'm going to get rid of that piece of meat on both the fillets. Then I'm going to also cut the belly meat. It's lined with kind of a sinewy toughness and also has some bones in it. Okay, it's gone. Now what we've got from each fillet are 2 lengths of Spanish mackerel boneless filleted meat. We're going to take these into the kitchen and get started on some sides. Here I bought some small potatoes. We're on vacation, so I just went to the store, grabbed a few things. Cutting these things into about 6 chunks per potato, putting them into a mixing bowl, adding some olive oil, and this is an important step. Make sure you mix it and get all the potato surfaces covered, because our next step involves adding some seasoning, and you want it to stick to all the potatoes. And this is just a pre-mix. of some sort of a herb seasoning. Again, we're on vacation. We grabbed what was quick and very easy. We're going to spread these out evenly on a baking pan and put right into the oven they go. Okay, we got the oven preheated at about 350, and we can go on now to some vegetables that are going to take less time to cook. We cut spears of squash and zucchini, put a little olive oil on them, and then added a bit of the lemon pepper that we're going to use on the fish. Took those out of the mixing bowl, put them on with the potatoes to finish. And now we got a little time to kill while the vegetables are cooking, so I'm going to slice a couple of lemons here very thinly. Get some thin slices of lemon. Now this is going to add something to the flavor and also the aesthetics of the dish. We're going to add some super flavor here. One of my favorites, garlic. Here's a smash the garlic clove technique using the side of the knife I learned watching Chopped on the Food Network, just to get that husk off. Then we're going to mince the fresh garlic. Look at me go there. Whee! So we get the garlic minced, got the lemon sliced right there together. Here's a pro tip. Take one of the lemon ends you just used and wash your hands in that where you've handled that garlic. It'll take the garlic smell right off your hands. Now we're going to line the bottom of a baking tray with the lemons. We're just going to make a lemon bed. And we're going to add a couple of sprigs of tarragon. This also livens up the appearance and gives us a good herbal flavor. Now we're going to take our boneless fish fillets, put them in the same mixing bowl, and we're going to add a little bit of olive oil to them just to get that coating on there, so it'll add some flavor, help it to brown a little bit in the oven. And also, when we add some sprinkle seasonings, it will really catch those. So I'm just going to lay these out on top of our lemon bed, on top of the tarragon, and this is how we're going to bake the fish. But before it goes in the oven, we're going to sprinkle on some lemon pepper, a generous portion here. This has got our salt and other seasonings in it, so we don't want to skimp on the lemon pepper. And again, this was off the shelf in the grocery store. We didn't bring this with us. Easy to get. We picked up a small portion of paprika to throw on there for some color. And now we're going to put that minced garlic right on top. You can cover this with some of the lemons you have left over. I thought that'd be really cool to do. And then you'll see as I go in the oven, we changed our mind. Now, while the vegetables are still cooking, don't sweat it. You'll think of something to do. And here they come now. All right, now you can see I moved the lemons out of the way. And that's just because we're going to leave the fish in for such a short period of time. I didn't want to have the fish undercook or overcook. I'm only going for about 5 minutes here. You may need a minute or two longer depending on your oven heating temperature. But this fish is coming out of the oven after only 5 minutes, and it is flaky, delicious. I can tell by looking that fish is right on. Now I've plated up the vegetables with the wedge of lime, put down a few lemons for presentation. I lay the broiled fish fillets on top of that lemon, and man, I'm hungry just looking at this. And that's how I make River Wife happy. So there you go. One of the most beautiful and best tasting fish in the sea, in my opinion, caught fresh at Cherry Grove Pier, North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And here's a couple of parting shots just to let you know that on a pier is definitely one of my happy places. Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this one. It was a delicious video. I wish you could have shared that meal with us. Listen, get out there on those piers, catch some fish, and make a video so the rest of us can see how you do it. Well, that's how we do it here at River Life. If you've got some tricks or tips you want to share about pier fishing, please leave me a comment below. And please do hit that subscribe button if you've not subscribed already. I've got lots of content coming from this trip and others like it. I hope to see you around soon. Share this video if you liked it. Give it a thumbs up. All of those things are very encouraging to me. It helps me to continue to produce the content that I know you like and are engaging with and responding to, and it helps the channel with the algorithm. So thank you very much for your effort. Until the next one, get out here and see it, love it, and live it. Tight lines.